Hare Krishna. Welcome to today's special Sunday program. We have an exciting program for you all.
Today, the program will given by the children in Krishna consciousness. The Bal Gopal Club of ISKCON Coventry, featuring Srila Prabhupada Arati, sung by Jai Krishna, a video by His Grace Srila Prabhupada, bhajan kirtans by Aradhya, Sudarshan and Tatiksha, myself and Nimai and Jagannath. Then Sudarshan will interview Kunal on his time in Bal Gopal Club. Then we'll have a live debate on God, does God exist? Then we will have some evident shlokas from the debate. Then we'll have Gaura Arati sung by Janamai, main Arati by Tatiksha, and Narsinga prayers by Kunal and Aditi. So now we'll go to Jai Krishna to sing Jai Prabhupada Arati. Are you ready?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Shila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Shila Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Keval Bhakti Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Keval Bhakti Sadma. Bandhava Savadana Mate Bandhamoi savadana pate. Jahara prasade bhai e bhavatoriya jai. Jahara prasade bhai e bhavatoriya jai. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoyte. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoyte. Guru mukha padma vakya siddhate goriya kya. Guru mukha padma vakya siddhate goriya kya. Arana kori ho mane asha. Arana kori ho mane asha. Shri Guru Charane Arati aise utamagati. Shri Guru Charane Arati aise utamagati. Jai prasad pure sab aasha. Jai prasad pure sarva aasha. चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से. चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से. दिव्य ज्ञान दिव्य प्रकाशित हो. दिव्य ज्ञान दिव्य प्रकाशित हो. प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते. प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते. वेदे गाय जहाँ चरित. वेदे गाय जहाँ चरित. श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदमाज नर बंधु. श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदमाज नर बंधु. लोकेनाथ लोकेर जीवाना. लोकेनाथ लोकेर जीवाना. घोषित त्रिभुवन लीला प्रभुपाद पतित पवन लीला प्रभुपाद पतित पवन लीला गुरुदेव लैला शरण लीला गुरुदेव लैला शरण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण थैंक यू
श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरुदेव की जय।
हरे कृष्ण
Haribol, thank you, Jai Krishna and Gaurang, for singing that. I'm just going to quickly read the translation to the arati they just sung. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic Brahma emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds.
Class by Srila Prabhupada. Please enjoy and listen to the valuable instructions from the spiritual master.
Malati and Shamsundar Prabhus are two pioneers who helped Srila Prabhupada spread the Hare Krishna movement in the USA, the UK, India, and elsewhere. Their daughter, Saraswati, had a unique relationship with Srila Prabhupada. About her, Srila Prabhupada said, "Saraswati is a wonderful girl. Her Krishna-conscious activities are giving us much pleasure. She is so nice that as soon as there is chanting sound of kirtan, immediately she begins to dance and clap. Even the audience becomes astonished, and they follow her activities. This child, Saraswati, must have been executing devotional service in her past life. She is preaching. She asks one gentleman, 'Do you know Krishna?' The person says, 'No, I don't know.' 'Oh,' she says, 'he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.'" Turning to his students, Srila Prabhupada said, "All of you can say like that, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and chant His holy name, Hare Krishna. If you simply do this, then you are a preacher. You are a spiritual master. It is so nice. In this way, Srila Prabhupada loved and encouraged the children, their parents, and indeed all his followers in the Hare Krishna movement. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Haribol. So that was a very nice video from Srila Prabhupada, and we can all learn, like that young devotee, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Srila Prabhupada also said in one of his classes that children should be made part of the main class, as they can learn more about Krishna consciousness. And one thing that Srila Prabhupada has said is, so take care of these children. If you can make one child Krishna consciousness, it is a great service. Krishna will be very pleased. So many children will come. So like this, Srila Prabhupada has said that if you can make one child Krishna consciousness, as they grow older, they can preach about Krishna consciousness and have many more devotees. There is one more video that we'd like to share.
Prabhupada came to America with a trunk of books. He chanted Hare Krishna and we all became quite hooked. Prabhupada, we love you. Prabhupada saved us. Chanting Hare Krishna is the process that he gave us. Prabhupada preached in the cities to all of those who'd listen. Please all chant Hare Krishna and spread Chaitanya's mission. Prabhupada, we love you. Prabhupada saved us. Chanting Hare Krishna is the process that he gave us. Prabhupada taught us again to eat and clean and cook. He told us all we need to know can be found in his books. Prabhupada, we love you. Prabhupada saved us. Chanting Hare Krishna is the process that he gave us. Prabhupada stayed just a short time. He went to Krishna's place. So let's pray for his mercy that we never stray away. Prabhupada, we love you. Prabhupada saved us. Chanting Hare Krishna is the process that he gave us.
Hare Krishna. So that was a very nice song about Prabhupada and how the process that he gave us is chanting Hare Krishna. So we should always remember to chant the Lord's name. Next, we'll go to Aradhya, who's going to sing Rama Raga for us. Haribol.
Hare Krishna Danda Pranam. Rama Raghava
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Aradhya, so much for that peaceful bhajan. We've had some comments. One of them is, all glories to our children. So inspiring to see them do this. From Vidya Prabhu. From Anil Das, well done, Aradhya, well sung. A comment from YouTube, excellent program led by the young generation of ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada would be very pleased with your endeavors. And from Rita Vadgama, Jai Aradhya, wonderful Jai Radha Madhav. Thank you, Aradhya, so much. Now we will have Sudarshan and Tatiksha singing Radha Kripa Kataksh when you're ready.
Hare Krishna.
Very well.
Murid Vinde Vandite Tilok Shokaharini Prasiddha Pakkajedi Kujja Bhuvilasiri.
Davinda Vandite Triloka Shokaharini Prasanna Vakta Pankaje Nikunja Bhuvilasiri.
Majendra Bhajanandiri Majendra Suru Saggate Kadakarisha Siha Bhakubhagadachi Vajanam.
Brajendra Bhanu Nandini Brajendra Sunu Sangade Kadhagarisha Sihama Kripa Kataksha Bhajan.
Ashoka Vishwallari Vitala Vasta Pastite Pavala Jala Pallava Pallari Govan.
Vriksha Vallari Vitana Mandapastiti Pravala Jala Pallava Prabharunangri Komali.
Venabhayan Vilakkade Prabhuta Sappakayade Kadakarisha Siha Vakubhagadacha Bhajanam.
Vayat Spurat Kare Prabhuta Sampadhalaye Kadha Karishasi Hava Kripa Kataksha Bhat. Anangaranga Mangala Prasangha Bangura Pruva Savibramam Sasangavam Triganta Bana Patare Nirantaram Vashikrita Pratita Nandanandare
Kadakarisha Siha Vakubhagadacha Bhajanam.
Suvarna Champaka Pratita Gaura Vigrahe Mukha Prabha Parasta Koti Sharadhenu Mandali Vijitra Chitta Sanjara Chakora Savalochan Kadhakarisha Sihama Kripa Kataksha मधोन्मथादि यौवने प्रबुधमानमण्डिते प्रियानुरागरञ्जिते कलाविलास पण्डिते अनन्य धन्य कुञ्जराज कामकेलिकोविदे अशेष हाव भाव धीर हीर हार भूषिते प्रभूत सात कुंभ कुंभ कुंभि कुंभ सुस्तने प्रशस्त मंड हास्य चूर्ण पूर्ण सौख्य सागरे मृणाल माल वल्लरी तरंग रंग दुर्लते लतांगर रास्य लोल लील लोचनावलोचने ललल्लुलन मिलन मनोघ मुद्द मोहनाशिते सुवर्ण मालिकांचिता त्रिरेक खंबुकांतगे त्रिसूत्र मंगली गुण त्रिरत्न धीति दीदिते सलोल नील कुंतला प्रसूर्ण गुच्छ गुंबिते नितंब बिंबलंबमान पुष्पमेघला गुहे प्रसन्न रत्न किंकिणी प्रलाप्य मध्य मंजुरे करींद्र सुंड ढंडिका वरोह सौभगोरुके अनेक मंत्र नाथ मंजुनु पुरावलस्कर समाज राज हंस वंश निकनाति गौरल विलोल हेम वल्लरी विधम्बि चारु चंक्रमे अनंत कोटि विष्णु लोक नम्र पद्मजाशिते हिमाद्रिजा कुलो मजा विरिंचि जावरपदे अपार सिद्धि रिद्धि रिद्ध सत्पथांगुलीनके मखेश्वरी क्रियेश्वरी स्वधेश्वरी सुरेश्वरी त्रिवेद भारतेश्वरी प्रमाण शासनेश्वरी अमेश्वरी क्षमेश्वरी प्रमोद काननेश्वरी प्रजादिते प्रजादिते श्रीराधिके नमोस्तुते इतीतमद्भुतं स्तवं निशम्य भानुनन्दी करोतु सन्ततं जनं कृपा कटाक्ष भाजन भवेत् तदा संचित त्रिरूप कर्मनाशन भवेत् तदा व्रजेन्द्र सोनु मंडल प्रवेशनम् इतीतमद्भुतं स्तवं निशम्य भानुनन्दी करोतु सन्ततं जनं कृपा कटाक्ष भाजन भवेत् तदा संचित त्रिरूप कर्मनाशन भवेत् तदा व्रजेन्द्र सोनु मंडल प्रवेशनम् मुनीन्द्रवृन्द वन्दिते त्रिलोक शोकहारिणि प्रसन्न राधे 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 बोल राधे 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 वृंदावन में बरसाने में गोविंदी में राधे 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 जय जय श्री राधे राधा रानी की जय।
Hari Bol, thank you Sudarshan and Tatiksha, that was very nice, Kirtan. Now me and Nimai are going to sing Sundar Bala.
Just Shri Hari Kirtan
Sundar Bala Saji Dulala Nachat Shri Hari Kirtan
Sundar Bala Saji Dulala Nachta Shri Hari Kirtan
Wali Chandana Tilaka Manohara Alaka Shubhi Kapulana
Mala Chandana Tilaka Manohara Alaka Shobhe Kapulana
Wali Chandana Tilaka Manohara Alaka Shubhi Kapulana
Mala Chandana Tilaka Manohara Alaka Shobhe Kapulana
Sundar Bala Saji Dulala Nachat Shri Hari Kirtan
Sundar Bala Saji Dulala Nachta Shri Hari Kirtan
Sundar Bala Saji Dulala Nachat Shri Hari Kirtan
Sundar Bala Saji Dulala Nachta Shri Hari Kirtan
Siri Darasi Bale Bana Fula Mala Priya Paradole
Shire Chula Tara Shiva Mana Pulamana
Paradole Siri Darasi Bale Bana Fula Mala Priya Paradole
Shire Chula Tara Shiva Mana Pulamana Hiya Paradole
Ahirana Pita Padambara Sobe Runu Charaname
Airana Pita Padambara Sobe Rupara Jala Charaname
Ahirana Pita Padambara Sobe Runu Charaname
Ahirana Pita Padambara Sobe Rupara Jala Charaname
Sundar Bala Saji Dulala Nachat Shri Hari Kirtan
Sundar Bala Saji Dulala Nachta Shri Hari Kirtan
Sundar Bala Saji Dulala Nachat Shri Hari Kirtan
Sundar Bala Saji Dulala Nachta Shri Hari Kirtan
Radha Krishna Ekatanoy Niduvana Maje Bamsi Bajai
Radha Krishna Ekatana Nidovana Maje Bamsi Bajai
Radha Krishna Ekatanoy Niduvana Maje Bamsi Bajai
Radha Krishna Ekatana Nidovana Maje Bamsi Bajai
विश्वरूप की प्रभु जी साहे आयो तो प्रकृति नदियों में
विश्वरूप के प्रभु जी सारे आयु का प्रकृति नदिया में
विश्व
रूप के प्रभु जी सारे आयु का प्रकृति नदिया में
सुंदर बाला सजी दुलाला नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में
सुंदर बाला सखी नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में
सुंदर बाला सजी दुलाला नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में
सुंदर बाला सखी नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन
कोई गाए कोई गाते हैं हरि गुण गान
कोई गाए राधा कृष्ण गाती है हरि गुण
कोई गाते हैं राधा कृष्ण नाम कोई गाते हैं हरि गुण गान
कोई गाते हैं राधा कृष्ण कोई गाते हैं हरि गुण
कोई गाते हैं राधा कृष्ण नाम कोई गाते हैं हरि गुण गान
कोई गाते हैं राधा कृष्ण कोई गाते हैं हरि गुण
मंगल तन में गंगा रास बजते हुए कोई रंगना में
मंगल तन मेरे डंगर साला बजते हैं कोई रंगन
मंगल तन में गंगा रास बजते हुए कोई रंगना में
मंगल तन मेरे डंगर साला बजता है कोई रंगन
सुंदर बाला सजी दुलाला नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में
सुंदर बाला सखी नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन
सुंदर बाला सजी दुलाला नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में
सुंदर बाला सखी नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
सुंदर बाल सजी दुलाल
जय हो
नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में Hari Bol. Now we'll have Jagannath for Jai Radha Madhav, followed by an interview by Sudarshan Pukanal.
Shriya Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Radha Madhava. Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava. Jayo Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradari Jayo Girivaradari Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Just Krishna.
Thank you, Jagannath. Now I'm going to read the translation for the bhajan I just sang, Sundar Bala. The beautiful darling son of Mother Sachi is dancing in the kirtan of Lord Hari's name. His forehead, adorned with sandalwood tilak, enchants everyone's mind as his beautiful locks of hair shine splendorously as they bounce upon his cheeks. His hair is wrapped in a topknot, and a garland of forest flowers sways upon his chest, wearing brilliant yellow silken garments. He dances as anklets tinkle pleasingly and rhythmically. Sri Radha and Krishna, who dance together in the groves of Nidhuvan with a flute, have combined as one transcendental form. In this form, the Lord of Vishvarup has come and manifested himself in the town of Nadia. Some in that particular performance sing the names of Radha and Krishna. Some glorify Lord Hari by praising his transcendental qualities, while others play fervently the auspicious rhythms of the sweet and relishable mridanga drums. All this takes place. Thank you. Now we will go to Sudarshan. Now we have comments from different websites. So we have very nice kirtan, Sudarshan and Tatiksha, transcendental playing and singing. Nimai sounds just like his father. Now can we have Sudarshan and Kunal for the interviews?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guru Vani. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So we've got two questions to ask you. So the first question is,
What have you been doing recently, or what have you been learning recently about
We've,
our club?
we've been learning about debates.
Yeah. Because we were talking about debating, what topics have you debated so far?
We've been debating about whether God is real, and we've also been debating about whether it's good to be vegetarian or not.
And do you think debating is a good skill that you need to learn?
Yes, because it could help you with other debates that you could do in the future.
And
Why has this been interesting for you?
what have you found interesting in
It's been good. So we found out like what other people thought about the topics.
Yeah, I think I can agree with you on that point because the debates have been
So interactive.
because we are fighting over whose point is better and who's better at debating. So yeah, back to Guru Vani.
Thank you, Sudarshan and Kunal. Kunal, you had some nice answers. Now we'll move on to a live debate on does God exist? There'll be two groups arguing for and against this question. On the for God existing, we have Jai Krishna, Aradhya, Jagannath, Sudarshan, and Arjun. Against the existence of God, Kunal, Aditi, me, and Nimai. So could we have everybody on? So the opening argument is, if there was a God, why would he let us get hurt? Could everybody unmute?
Stop, my mic's on.
Who would like to counter that argument? Jagannath, would you like to counter this argument? If there was a God, why would he let us get hurt?
He may let us get hurt so we don't take everything for we don't. I'm quite unsure actually.
Sudarshan?
Yeah, the reason why it's not God, it's due to our karma that we've done in the past, and it's not to do with God. I think it's people think that God is the reason why everyone gets hurt, but actually isn't. It's to do with our past deeds.
Kunal, would you like to say something in answer to that?
Say.
I didn't hear what they said.
If God was real, why would God let us suffer when other people die, make us sad and stuff like that?
Jai Krishna, do you have a point?
Krishna? It's because of karma.
Thank you. Okay. So, if God was real, why are there so many people being killed, so many innocent people that are dying for no reason? Aradhya?
It's because of their past deeds and what they did earlier in their past life. Because in their past life they had a good life, but in the next life they did bad things when they had good life, so they're suffering in their next life.
Okay, thank you. How can we prove the existence of God when we cannot see him or talk to him? Sudarshan, would you like to answer the question?
We don't need to see God as there's proof that people see him. What do you call it? We all speak to God by chanting Hare Krishna, so it doesn't mean that there is no proof that God's not there. And there's proof in the scriptures. For example, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is the one who spoke it, so we're getting connection. We're getting connection with God because He was the one who was speaking the Bhagavad Gita. So there is no proof that we don't have what do you call it? Connection with God. There is connection with God, even though we can't see it.
Okay. And how can we convince other people about God? And how can we convince people who have lost loved ones who they really loved, but they now they see the fault of God in this. How can we convince them that it wasn't God's fault? Aradia, do you have something to say?
Because even if they, because in their past life, they could have done bad things, but it's not Krishna's fault because everyone dies at a time. It's not their choice. Whether they, for example, whether someone dies today or whether 50 years later, they still die. And their soul is immortal because their soul never dies.
Thank you. Kunal, do you have something to say?
If God was real, why would that would mean that all science that scientists have found out before would be wrong?
Would anybody like to counter that? Aradia, you have your hand up.
For the last question, if God is real, then why can't you see him? If it's because some people don't, because we don't have pure eyes. If we have pure eyes, we can see Krishna. And for example, if someone says that we don't have a mind because we can't see the mind, we do have the mind because if without mind we couldn't think. So they can't say if you can't see Krishna, there isn't Krishna.
Thank you. I have a point for against. Who created God? And if the answer is God, then how can we prove that God created the Earth and other planets? Anyone on the for side? Sudarshan?
The proof is that if human or someone man-made it, then everyone would be able to find a cure for everything. If God wasn't the creator, if God doesn't exist, then if God doesn't exist, then why do we have sufferings around the earth? He's doing it because we need to learn lessons from what we're actually doing wrong.
Okay. Aditi, do you have anything for the against side, or Kunal?
No.
Does anyone on the for side have a point? Jagannath? Arjun? Arjun?
If God doesn't exist, then why are there billions of people around the world believing in him or her, and then over 80% of the world believing in him?
Would anybody like to counter that attack? Aditi?
Say that God is real.
What proof is if God is real?
Okay, so what proof is there that they are believing in a God and not just believing in something that doesn't exist? Sudarshan?
The reason why we can believe that they're believing in God, because everything has to come from a authorized succession. For example, we're learning the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, that is coming from the Guru Parampara. And we whenever we start something, we say Om Gyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shlakaya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha, meaning, O Gurudev, I offer my respectable obeisances from my inner heart with the torch of light of divine knowledge, you opened my eyes to blinded by the darkness of ignorance, showing that we don't actually know who God is, but we're trying to gain that we're trying to gain that knowledge by following or getting knowledge from Guru.
Okay, thank you. Kunal, do you have a point? And then we'll go to Jai Krishna.
If God was real, why would he create so many different religions if there was only one God?
Okay, I'll go to Jai Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Well, so if there was no God, how did the universe come?
Yes, thank you. Aradhya, do you have a point?
So if there was no God, how have so many humans in the world, and who made the humans?
That's a good question, but what about all the science theories that are out there? How can you prove the science theories wrong? Like the theory of evolution. Sudarshan?
Like we discussed in the debate for vegetarianism, someone said that our teeth are made to eat meat, but then if you look at the evolution, you see that monkeys, they never ate meat, they ate fruit and vegetable. So that means that they eat roots. So that doesn't mean that it means that we're not from like we might be from monkeys, but God is the one who created all of us.
So going back to Kunal's point, Kunal said if there was only one God, and if there was a God, why has he, she, or they created so many religions and images of God? Arjun?
If everyone believed in one religion or in one thing around the whole world, then the humanity no one would like step out of what they believe and just carry on with what everyone else says.
Thank you. And how would we convince, for people who are atheists, people who don't believe in God, because they've lost a loved one or something's happened to them that's really bad, how can we prove to them that it wasn't God, but it was God in the same way? How can we convince them that there is a God that is doing all of this to us?
You can tell them because it's all because of karma. According to karma, your life goes.
What if they don't believe in karma and things like that? How are we going to convince them that God is real, but not in like the terms of past deeds? Because if they don't believe like that, then they won't believe you. Sudarshan.
The way we can counter this is by saying, who is the one that is managing, who is the one who is giving you the knowledge, who is giving you, good chances or opening the doors for you to find a good life? It's got to be someone who is who is the most powerful and who is the most wealthiest, which has got to be Krishna or the Supreme Lord. So it shows that he is the one who takes charge of when we're going to die and when we're going to be born. And it's not up to anybody else.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else have anything to say? Kunal?
If God is real, why can't anybody see him? Nobody's ever seen God.
That's a good question. Would anybody on the foresight like to counter this argument?
You can't see him unless either you if you have pure eyes you can see him, or if you leave your body and go to God, then you can see him. So there's two types of ways to see him.
But what
But
if
you can't see him with your own eyes. You need pure eyes from God so that you can see him.
how do we get pure eyes, and how are we certain that when we die we will go to God?
Well, God gives us the pure eyes.
Okay, does anybody have anything else to say on the for side or against side? Jagannath?
How could our brains be so complex and how they were built if God didn't create it?
That's a good point. Does anybody on the against side have an argument for that?
I've got a point for. So Krishna says that he is the one who is the five senses. He's earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So those are the necessities that we need for living life. So if it's not God who's providing them, who is providing them? It can't be the government, because they're trying to find ways to get out of. They're trying to find ways to solve global warming. So they're the ones trying to do stuff. But how come? So Krishna tells us that he is the five senses. So what is the proof that nobody else is controlling them?
Okay, thank you. Is there any more questions or anything else to add to this? Anyone? Sudarshan?
Krishna also says Bhaktimam Abhijanati, meaning he is the one who gives everyone the knowledge and the eyes to see him. So it means that we need to take association and read more about Krishna, so we can have so you can know Krishna by devotional service.
And how can we take association?
By joining Zoom classes. By joining Zoom classes and doing chanting.
Thank you. Anything, and anybody else would like to add anything? Arjun.
If God is real, then when you're born, you're breathing automatically. There's no one making you breathe. You're doing it since you're a baby, so nobody's controlling you.
Okay, thank you. But what about all the diseases that babies get sometimes? How can we say that if there was a God, why would God create such diseases that sometimes kill, harm people and innocent people? Sudarshan.
It's up to Krishna. If he wants to take us, he'll take us. If he wants us to stay, then he'll make us stay. And the only way we can try and get out is by devotional service and using the 9 processes of bhakti to try and get out.
Okay, thank you. And now, is there anything to add on?
Sometimes, if we have some illnesses, it just might be like nothing to do with God at all. When on that illness, when we get the illness, it might be just nothing to do with God, because is your body with all those organs, lungs, things like that. Those gets loaded with diseases, which immediately makes you go into a disease.
Okay, thank you. Kunal?
Some people in this world are very innocent and like haven't done anything bad. So why would God let bad things happen to them if they haven't done anything bad?
Darshan?
It's not just to do with this life, it's to do with all previous lives. Say in your last life you're a serial killer, but this time you turn out to become a good person, but you still get caught up in some bad problems. If you're caught up in something bad, then it's to do with your past life. And this brings into the point of reincarnation. And there's also loads of examples to support reincarnation, like the NEDs, where people have actually seen them. They've seen going into they've seen like really bright white lights, and they've just been transported back into the world, and they just feel as if something good happened to them.
Kunal?
If God was real, why would he let coronavirus and things like that happen for so long when he could just like stop it?
Aradia?
It's because people are being taught. People were doing bad things, and they were having non-veg, and they were doing bad things which aren't good for Krishna consciousness, and to punish them, that's what Krishna did. And from
Carry on, Aradia?
And from that, there's lots more. And because COVID existed, lots of people stopped doing that, and then they started to come into Krishna consciousness. So just because of COVID, lots of new people have joined Krishna consciousness.
Thank you. We'll go to Sudarshan, then Kunal. Sudarshan.
The reason why Krishna may have done this is because we were advancing so much, and we thought that we were going to excel in everything. So Krishna made us think for 2 minutes, saying, "You're trying to basically everyone was going out and going about, and this was increasing the air pollution, which went towards global warming. But then the case statistics show that people have actually stopped going outside, so the air's more fresher and greener."
Okay, Kunal, you had your hand up.
Why would God like make us think lies if God was real, like the Big Bang? If God created the world, why would he make us think that the Big Bang created the world?
Sudarshan?
These are just things that scientists have made to cover up religion. Because if they were religious, then why would they say Big Bang was a thing? It's just that. What do you call it? It's just their way of trying to hide religion. Because we know that through his navel comes Brahma, so everything can appear out of nowhere. So Krishna is just doing this, or making people do this, to try and hide, for making them try to find atheistic ways of trying to hide religion.
Jai Krishna?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So it doesn't mean that the Big Bang created everything. If another Big Bang happened, it doesn't mean that the laptop works. Or if another Big Bang happened, it doesn't mean that the phone was created or something like that. It may be that Krishna created the Big Bang if Big Bang theory was proven, and then humans created the laptop, not the Big Bang. So in a way, different things which other things have made might have created different things like that.
Thank you. Aradia?
They don't have any proof that the Big Bang was actually a thing, and the scientists noticed that there was something before the Big Bang, so the Big Bang could have been the destruction of the universe.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like Gunal?
If God was real, why would there be like bad stuff in the world when we could just like live like all like happily?
So if we could live peacefully and in harmony with everyone and get along with everyone, why are there so many countries at war and other things? Would anybody like to argue with that? Sudarshan.
It's all to do with our karma, like we said, and also the reason why we are stuck in this material world is because we wanted to enjoy ourselves. So that's why we came back. And also I have a counter saying, why is there evil in this world? So is it God that is doing this? It's not God, because if it was God, then why would you want people to be sad?
Aradhya?
They war because they have greed. And for example, if someone wins a war, they get the other country's land, and then they get the other country's land, and then they start to get greedy and start to want every land. But in other cases, sometimes they get into arguments and they have different things, but they get into arguments, and because of their different opinions, someone starts to say that that's wrong, and then they get into an argument, and then they start to war.
Okay, and I have a argument as well. If God was real, if you're saying that God is in everyone's heart, then is it God that is making other people kill other people? Is it God that is making other people eat non-veg? If God is inside you, then why is God making people? Jagannath?
Because humans might be fighting, they would fight because their own free will, and that God doesn't actually control us, but he wants us to love him with our own will, not because he wants us to. Well, not because he's forcing us to.
Thank you. Aradhya?
There's two souls. One's the normal soul and one's the super soul. And the super soul is Krishna, and we're the normal soul. So we have a free. So we basically choose what we do. Krishna tells us what's right, but then sometimes we don't listen, and then we just do it, and then it's our option. Krishna gives us the choice, but then we have to choose.
Kunal?
If God was real, why would he create like the coronavirus and other like illness to hurt us if he cared about us?
So if he cared about us, why would he create things that would harm us? Sudarshan.
It's to do with the reaction of the material nature, because everyone was killing animals, killing everything, and people were trying to start nuclear weapon wars, because you've seen what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So the world, this is the natural material nature's reaction on us. It's not to do with God.
Okay, we'll go to Arjun. Did you have your hand up?
Yeah, as leading on to what Darshan said, they people ate meat, and then once again, like coronavirus started, scientifically, people say they ate meat, and then people just spreaded it as everyone was going everywhere, causing air pollution, and then just eating meat and like happiness, just thinking they can do what they want, but then just God was like, no, I've got to put a break to this and slow everyone down.
Okay, Jagannath, Jai Krishna, and then we'll see. Jagannath, did you have your hand up?
No, I didn't.
Okay, Jai Krishna, did you have your hand up?
I was going to say the same as Sudarshana.
Okay, thank you. So we'll end there. So some children have found shlokas and will present evidence that God exists from the scriptures. They will read the Sanskrit and translation in English. So Sudarshan will have the first one.
Yep, Hare Krishna. So the first one I'm reading is the Shloka Shloki Bhagavat, which is from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9, Canto 2, Chapter 9, Text 33. Ahameva sameva gre nanyat yat sat sat para parshadaham yate tacha yo vashisheta sosmiham. Jagannath, if you could read the translation.
Shouldn't it be on screen share?
Oh, sorry. Where's it gone? No, I've sent it in the chat if you can use that one. Okay, I'll read it myself.
Brahma, the personality of Godhead, was existing before creation, when there was nothing but myself. There was no material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead, and after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead.
Ritirtam ya pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tadvidyatmano mayam yatha vaso yatha tamaha. If you can read that one.
O Brahma, that which appears to be of value, but has no relation to me, has no reality. Know that it is my illusory energy, a reflection, which appears in darkness.
Yata mahanti bhutani bhuteshu na cheshanu pravishtanya pravishtani tata teshu na tesham. Arjun.
O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created, and at the same time, I am outside of everything.
Etavadev jigyasam tattva jigyasanatmanah anvya vitirekabhyam yatsat sarvatra sarvada.
A person searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly.
Back to you, Nurvani.
Thank you, Sudarshan, Jagannath, and Arjun. Next is Aradhya.
10.8 Aham sarasya prabhu mattam saram parartatati matta bhajantamam buddha bhavasmannita. Translation: I am the source of all spiritual and material being. All spiritual and material being. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
Thank you. Now we'll go to Kunal and Aditi. Are you guys ready?
Mataha Bharatram Nanyat Kinche Asti Dhananjaya Mahi Sarvam Idam Krotam Sutramani Gana Eva.
O conqueror of wealth, there is no true superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread.
Thank you. And now we'll have Jeremiah.
यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्. Whenever and wherever this is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Buddha, and predominant rise of a religion, and that time I dissent myself.
Thank you, Nimai. So, summarizing the debate is that there was a lot going on because there was a lot of arguments for and against. For against, there was a lot of arguments of why God would hurt us, why God would harm us. And that's because God is giving us a test and to see how we control ourselves in the material world and how we can control ourselves. And these shlokas reference the evidence of God existing and how God exists, and we should all follow chanting the Lord's name and listening to the Lord's kathas and kirtans. Next, we have a Srila Prabhupada video. Is that ready? Thank you.
Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 comprise my separated
Bhumirapo nalo vayu khangamano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yang me bhinna prakriti asta. That is real knowledge. If you speculate on God, it is not possible. God is unlimited. You cannot understand. God, Krishna in the beginning said, Asangsang samagrang ma jatha gyasyasi tatshino. Samagram. Samagra means whatever, samagra means complete. So, whatever subject for study and knowledge there is sum total of everything. One. God is the sum total of everything. Therefore, he begins to explain himself. First of all, because we have no information of God, but practically we see the vast land, the vast water, ocean, the vast sky, then fire, so many things, material things also mind is also material, and then ego, everyone is thinking that I am something, I am kattaham iti mannate, ahankara vimurat, this false ego. This ego means false ego. And there is pure ego. That pure ego is aham brahmasmi. And the false ego, I am Indian, I am American, I am African, I am Brahmin, I am Kshatriya. This is false ego, ahankara. So, at the present moment, not at the present, always, we are surrounded by all these things. That is our beginning of philosophy. Where from this land came, where from this water came, where from the fire came, that is natural input, where from the sky came, how these stars are situated, so many millions and millions. So, these are the inquiries of the intelligent person. That is the beginning of philosophical life. Therefore, those who are thoughtful human beings, gradually they are inquisitive of understanding the Supreme Lord, Krishna. So Krishna is there, and Krishna is explaining himself. I am like this. But unfortunately, we will not understand Krishna. But we will try to speculate what is God. This is our disease. Krishna is explaining himself, God is explaining himself. We shall not take that statement, but either we shall deny or we shall accept God without any head and leg, and so on, so many things. This is our disease. Therefore, in the previous verse, it has been explained, Manusyanam sahasya, kaschid jadati siddhai, jadatam api siddhyanam kaschid vettimam tato. Out of many millions and millions of persons, actually they are serious to understand what is the aim of life, what is God, what is my relation. Nobody is. Just like Bal Gopal, everyone is interested with this bodily conception of life, like cats and dogs. This is the position. Not only now, always, this is the material condition. But somebody, Manusyanam sahasresu, out of millions and one tries to understand, to make his life perfect. And out of such perfection, perfection means to understand his real constitutional position, that he is not this material body, he is spirit, soul, Brahma. That is perfection. Perfection of knowledge, Brahma Jnana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Very well. So that was a lovely video by Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada was talking about how we are surrounded by material things and how God exists and how as humans we can intelligently ask and learn about God and understand Krishna. We're going to look at some comments from Mahatma Prabhu. Very sweet. Well done, Didiksha and Sudarshan. Haridas Prabhu, great program. We weren't this good when we were their age. I was into Gulli Danda, well done. And beautiful Radha Madhav singing like Nani. So now we'll move to the temple and Nimai. Are you ready? Haribol, please start.
Gajana Manalapa. Nitai go, Nitai go, Nitai go, Haribo, 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 Nitai go, Haribo, 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 Haribo.
Ya Vishnu Vidhaya Vishnu Vishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami
Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Pinamine.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Guruvari Pichadire Nivishesha Shuddhagadi
Namaste Saraswati Deve Guruvari Pichadire Nivishesha Shuddhagadi Pasatyare Prasarine. Chaitanya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimati Gaura Bhattavrinda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Sitaram Hanuman, Sitaram Hanuman.
Jai Maharani, Jai
Very well. Thank you so much, Tatiksha, for singing the main arati. Now we will have Nrsinga prayers for we'll pray for the following devotees: speedy recovery for His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu, His Holiness B.B. Govind Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj and the care team, and other devotees in Mayapur and all the people suffering all over Bharat. Prem Manjri Mataji, Shada Devi, Vinod Manjri's father, Prem Malan, Shalu Mehta, Raju and family, Biba Gaur, Satya's brother, Chalapati Rao, Prem Prakash's family members in Bharat, and Rekha Ben Savanya, Srimati's friend, and Jayesh Gadir, Nail Manjari's brother. And also for the departed souls of Jeevan Vadukal, Vidya Prabhu's father, and Guru Mata Shanti Devi. So Kunal and Aditi will be singing the Nrsimha prayers. Are you ready, Kunal and Aditi? Hari Bol. So if you'd like to start.
Namaste Narasingaya Pralatinathidayane Hiranyakashipu Nashaya Shiradanakanakane Ito Nasino Bharato Nasino Yeto Yamitato Nasino Ahe Nasino Ritae Nasino Narashingavadim Sharanam Prapade Kara Kara Kamalamare Nakana Buddha Shingaya Tarita Hiranyakashipu Nanoplingan Keshabadita Nana Hari Rupan Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadita Nana Hari Rupan Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Nrsimhadev Jaya Pralabhana Jaya Pralabhana Jaya Pralabhana Jaya Pralabhana Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Jaya Guru Maharaj Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol 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 Hari Bol
Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki
Jai
Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj ki
Jai
Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai
Shri Guru Maharaj ki
Jai
Gaura Premanande.
Hari Bol ki Jai.
Thank you, Kunal and Aditi, so much. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this special Sunday program by the Bal Gopal group. Don't forget we have everyday daily artis at 7:30. Next festival is Nrsimhadev Chaturdasi, Tuesday, 25th of May. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also look for us on Facebook. I hope you enjoyed our program and we'll see you next week.